We're joined now by CSU Bakersfield coach Rod Barnes and student athletes Antavion, Collum, and Cameron Smith. Coach, if you would please start us off with your opening comments.
Yes, it's always a privilege and an honor, and I'm very thankful each season that I get an opportunity to coach and pour into young men's lives, and there was no difference this season. Obviously, we came into the season with great expectation, and because of, unfortunately, having so many injuries, we didn't get a chance to put our full team together. But I'm proud of the young men that continue to fight for our program, and really proud of these two guys right here. For probably, I think, 10 or 12 games. They didn't have subs really for them, and to see the effort and what they play with is truly something that I think they can put as a marker for the rest of their lives, that we were in a very adverse kind of situation, and I think we got the very best out of them. At least they gave us their best effort. I have to give credit to Irvine tonight. They were really hot. They shot the ball well. When we had the opportunity to make some plays, I think it was some crucial times that in the first half that we could have made move to come back, and one time there in the second half. But they shot the ball well from the three, and you got to give them credit. I thought they did a good job defensively of trying to really push our point guard, which that was the area there that obviously we've lost our starting point guard. And I thought they did a great job with their game plan of pressuring us out front. Other than that, again, I'm proud of the overall body of work of this group of guys.
Okay, any questions here in the room?
Henry Greenstein, Bakersfield, California. Bino, I'll start with you. As one of the seniors on this team, looking back, how do you feel about kind of the role you played helping lead the team through some of the tough times you guys went through?
It was a blessing to be able to play the game under the leadership of Coach Barnes and the coaching staff. He just embodied fight, work, carry water, chop wood, carry water, and that means just each and every day just give your best effort, because tomorrow never promised. And I'm just grateful just to be in this position to play the game. I have a story of my own, and I'm just thankful just to be in this position to play the game. Obviously, it didn't come out the way we wanted to, but I'm just thank God that I was able to go out there and play.
Taylor Schapp, KGT in Bakersfield. Antavion, you had a real second-half surge this season. There's a lot to build upon next season. With a healthy roster around you, Cameron, Coach, what are the expectations going forward?
Expectations don't change. Just like Coach said, when we hit adversity, we still had the same expectations. So we got the same expectation for next year that we had this year, that we had last year. So it's just a mentality, and we just going to have to keep going and keep pushing.
Miles Boynes, Eyewitness News, Bakersfield, California. Coach, throughout the 3 games you guys played against UC Irvine, the total 3-point were 6 for 32. Is there something different that Irvine does that results in the struggle of the 3-point shooting?
Excuse me, say that again?
The total 3-point, 6 for 32 3-pointers in all 3 games against UC Irvine combined. Is there a difference? Is there something that UC Irvine does that's different from other teams you guys played against in results of the struggling of the 3-point shooting?
No, I think they got a good team. I think they're well coached. I think they're solid and sound in their defensive principles and what they do. I think some of that has to do with us, because to beat their defense, you've got to be able to break them down off the dribble and create for other people. And, again, we didn't do a great job of doing that. And, again, you've got to give them credit also. Just because of the number of people that we also were playing, you don't get a chance to get in the open court as much as you would like, which they do, because they got depth. Because we didn't have a whole lot of depth, you don't want to play as fast, because if these two guys go out, where are we going to go? So we had to play a slower pace. So it was in their favor because of that they were able to attempt more threes than we were, but also make more than we did.
Question in the front.
Coach, I know how difficult this season has been for you to try to guide this team through all of the injuries. When you kind of step back and are able to take a breath, what are you going to remember most?
Oh, it's a lot to remember. First of all, it's the first time in 30-something years that I've roster depleted like this because of injuries. So you don't never know how you'll react until you're in a situation. And each and every day I continue to work with our guys and believe that we could have a good season, even though we're knowing that our numbers are down. So that's one thing for me, but just, again, to see these guys try each and every day to give their very best. We had a couple of losses that were pretty bad losses, but I think for the most part, as I said before, I think their body of work of trying to win was good. So I'll remember their names and who they are and what they've done and to be appreciative of that. The thing about this, and I've been in this situation before, sometimes through the adversity and tough times, that's when you really find out who you are and what you are as far as a program. And again, these young men that's here and the young men in our locker room, I wouldn't trade them as human beings for anyone. So it said something to me that there was a never give in, never give up, never quit kind of mentality. And a lot of times it's the build up to what happens later. We were here a few years ago and we brought a team in and we lost here twice in the first round when we were in the WAC. But the second go around, I said, this team is different because of the adversity we had been through, and I knew we could build on that. And I feel the same thing with this particular team, that we can build on something because through the tough times, we stayed together. So now we have something to build on.
I know it's a different team, but the last 3 years have been really challenging. You had COVID, which just threw a wrench into all of college basketball, and then the injuries this year. To see your teams every year still stay resilient at the end, what does that mean to you as a leader, that they're still buying in?
Well, it's character. I mean, that's in the recruiting process. I mean, you want to recruit guys with great character, and they've proven that and shown that. Again, we don't make excuses, and we try not to recruit kids that are going to make excuses. And we have kids in leadership that buy into what we're trying to do. So I know it's not today that I'll really rejoice. It'll be 10 years from now where I'll see where these guys are that'll really have me rejoicing at the kind of young men and what they've developed and grown into.
Isaac Kameli, GoRunners.com. Yeah. Coach, what would you say about your outlook and the future of the program today compared to a year ago today when you lost in the same round? Do you feel more optimistic or maybe less?
Well, definitely more optimistic, because we're going to have more guys returning. We've got a better foundation of what we've done. We had more wins in the league this year. I thought we competed at a better level overall. But we've been a program that as kids have stayed, student athletes have stayed in our program, we get better. It's like these two young men here. Last year, we're coming out of this place and not knowing whether Antavion can do what we thought he could do. Now he's proven that. And again, I think we've got some guys in that dressing room that didn't like the way this season that can contribute and will contribute next year that didn't like it. I think we'll return more players than what we returned last year. So it's earlier for us to build in the spring and the summer into next season. So I'm optimistic. I'm actually excited about it, but, about our program and about the kids that are in our program. And we're headed in the right direction. And it gives us also another look at just being in the league, seeing the caliber of student athletes that we need to play at this level on a consistent basis. We closed the gap some this year. Again, probably if we have some guys healthy, it would have shown a little bit more. But we've got to add a couple of guys to our roster so that we can not only compete because we want to win. So competing is great, but we want to win here.
This question is for Dude. I know you have said that confidence was a big problem for you earlier in your career. It seems like you've got confidence going now. And how do you feel about that confidence and your ability heading into your final year of eligibility?
I feel good about it. I'm not really second guessing myself or the program or the coaching staff. We just gotta, we just gotta execute. Sometimes the game don't go our way, but we just got to push through them times and get wins. So feel good about it.
And question for Cameron Bino. I know this is being your last game with the Roadrunners. Can you reflect back a little bit and talk a little bit more about what having been part of this program has meant to you?
This has been a blessing, man. First of all, I just want to thank Coach Barnes for just bringing me out of a small town and just the experience from flying different places. And like my first time on an airplane was to come out here, so I mean, just a small town kid with big dreams, and I just embrace, the life lesson that I've learned from basketball. The game is obviously the game that everybody see, but the things that the people don't see, the 5 a.m. workouts and running and all the conditioning and weights, and they build character. And I just appreciate my time here. I've grown as a man off the court more than anything. Putting the ball in the basket and giving my all. That's what I'm gonna do, but. The experience and when things not going my way and showing resilience, and that's the main thing I can hang my hat on. That I think I've done a great job of just sticking with it, even when things not going my way and I can't see the sunshine, but I just stayed with it. And I just thankful Coach Barnes of the leadership that he had. I just try to follow him and just keep putting good days ahead of myself.
And my last question is for Coach. Can you reflect on your two seniors, Travis Henson and Cameron Smith, and what they've meant to your program?
Well, so first of all, so much. Again, a lot of times when you hit adversity, it tells you a lot about the character of the young men you coach, or people that you work with. And these two guys have stayed steady. When it's your senior year, as I reflected and told them, my senior year, we weren't a good team at the University of Mississippi. But it's probably the year that I grew the most as a human being. And I wanted to make sure that we do the same thing for them. And I think we've done that. They've done well. Cameron will be getting his master's degree. Obviously, he's just expressed to you what this university, what our program meant. Travis will be graduating this spring, so we're going to be excited about that. First generation of male graduating, so that's something to brag about. But then I haven't gotten a call in the 3 years those guys have been here with no professor, no one at their apartment, no police officers, anything. And when you can do that when things not going right on the court, it says something about it. So again, we point to guys in this program that were before. So as we have success next year, we'll remember these guys, right? Those two guys and what they gave to us this year.
Coach, my final question. Cameron mentioned it, how basketball changed his life. Basketball at CSUB. Basketball changed your life. To give these young men opportunities, to pull them up, what does that mean to you?
It's everything. It's the reason I got in this business. I didn't get here to be coach of the year or win championships. I got in here to help young men, help them grow and develop, not only in the way of teaching them, but try to be a role model for them so they can have the same opportunities I did. And I do now, because that's what it's all about. Sports and what we do and the time that they're going to play is really a small window in their lives. So if we can lay the foundation, which these guys are really solid, then we've done a great job. Hopefully in the middle of that, which is up there high, we want to win. So we don't want to forget that. We want to win. But you can push and keep on going forward when guys like this is a product of our university and our program. You can keep moving forward.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.